Hello everybody, welcome to the Ftog server, Avant 3, ToddytheBody here, and see this thing behind me? That's an Empower from Actually Editions and Display Stands. And look how awesome it can be. If you throw something in it, and then hit the button and give it a redstone signal, it just picks the items that it needs to be able to empower it. Isn't that magic? And it's not just the redstone or redstonia or whatever it's called crystal. It does all of them. Here, I'll show you as soon as it gets done. And it should be almost there. I picked some of the examples that don't need as much power. So hurry up and get done. Do your little explosion thing, and I'll show you what happens. There we go. Let's pick up the void crystal here. Push the button, and look. It picks what you need. That's awesome. Okay, so maybe if you are good, maybe if you stick around, I'll show you how that works. And look at all these dragon eggs. I've got dragon eggs for days. Here, check this out. Oh, dragon eggs all over my face. Yeah, anyways, let me show you that part too. We'll come back to this. We'll come back later on. Get my crystal too. Alright, put that away. Let's put our eggs away and go see what's happening. How do we get these? Are we cheating? No, we're not cheating. We're just using our mods. That's all. Using a little bit of our mod knowledge. Alright, so we're going back to calculator a little bit today. Look at this. I've tried using this before. I still can't figure out. We've had a couple updates to extra utilities. I figured maybe there would be something added to the manual of how to use this for light. It says that you can use it for a light. You just have to figure it out. I haven't figured it out. So all I did is I put it in a nifty little item frame, and it sits there, and it looks nice. Yeah, it does. So we're back at the calculator mod. Remember this thing? Remember this setup we had? I put it back together. What was going on before is I had a calculator fabricator there. And let me just show you what I'm talking about, because I have all of my extra pieces that I had picked up and thrown here in the corner to forget about them for all time. Fabricator. Nope, no fabricator. And I'm not going to make one either. So, what the fabricator does, let's float and float down. The fabricator, let's get this. From calculator mod, this is the recipe: reinforced iron ingot, storage chamber, a couple stones, and all that, and the chamber you have to make inside of the atomic calculator with some more reinforced iron, and a reinforced chest with some more reinforced iron. So lots of reinforced iron here. But what it does is that you take the circuits that you can make here, and let me right click on one and see fabrication chamber. It makes different things. So if we look at the recipes here, you know, you can make different parts for the calculator mod. You can make some of the calculator, but we talked about all this before. What I was doing is I was setting it right next to this so that all of the circuits that I use I can just make with the fabrication chamber. But when the stacks would get over 64, so actually, you know, over 64, over a stack's worth, it would start to mess up. It would bust the storage chamber. You can see here I've collected tons and tons of the regular circuits, and as long as I don't mess with them, everything is all hunky-dory. So no fabrication chamber. Up here on this one, I've been collecting stable circuits, and we used the stable circuits before to make the max-sized calculator locator for all that power that we have over there. Alright, and then we have the thing that we did before. We've got the filter with soil and dirt and the kind of byproduct that you get out of the precision chamber when you put items inside. And it's been a little bit, so how about I just go ahead and I get it going a little bit. Alright, so I'm using the mechanism logic cable to move items because the Ender I own one makes tons and tons of tick problems. So don't use it with the don't use it with the calculator mod. Don't even touch them. Don't put conduits on these things. It'll break your server. I don't know about a single player game. But anyway, so those are being fed inside of there. They're being turned into dirty circuits, and then there's that soil byproduct that gets pushed out of the back. And then over to this one, it gets cleaned up and all that, and then analyzed, and then I get to keep my stable circuits as long as I don't have a fabrication chamber next to that. And then here are the extra goodies that you can get. But why I'm showing you all that is because we have from the calculator mod something called the atomic multiplier. So let's see if I can show you the recipe for that real quick. Now, at our level here, what is this? Flash ring? Is this new? That looks cool. Might have to try to get into that. Multi-tank. Yeah, okay. Atomic multiplier. Here we just have some of the stable stones in diamond, which is easy for us. The atomic symbol I made with the fabrication chamber. There's a fabrication chamber and then a couple calculator plugs. And yep, like I said, at our level, those items are not too bad to get. So we have it. So how you use it, and I have a couple dragon eggs in there. What it does is it destroys what you have on this side and then multiplies it by 4 and then adds it to this side. So that's why I had 4 eggs. So now I have 3 here and 1 up there. But you also need stable circuits, and that's why I have that thing over there. So I just have a little storage here with stable circuits. We got 7. You just need to put 1 in each of the slot, and then once it gets to 1.5 billion RF, it will actually start. So we're almost there. I get it to fill up with power a little bit faster if I use these solar conduits. Nope, that's not right. Let's see, solar. Yeah, this one here, transfer rate, infinite RF per tick. That fills it up pretty fast when I use it with the power cells. But what happens though is that they continue to draw power. So even if the multiplier here is full of power, they're still taking power out, but there's nowhere for the power to go, so the power just kind of disappears, but it still keeps taking power out. So I was losing lots and lots of power, going through a lot of my little crystals over there, and didn't know why until I figured that out. So I guess we'll just do it this way, and we'll eventually make a building for it now that we know how this all works, so that we can multiply things that are a little bit harder for us to get, like say dragon eggs. You can only get 1 on this server. Alright, so it looks like it's active and it was actually doing its thing. It's using up the power, and it's almost there. Just to prove it to you, I'll show it. Here we go right now. And it'll take up all the circuits. There we go. So we have all of our dragon eggs and everything too. So I'll just go ahead and leave that there and maybe grab out 7 more of these and then put those in, and then it'll do its thing while we're doing our thing. Alright, and put that all together. What do we need dragon eggs for? Nah, not much. That's just fun to have extra, I guess. If you look down on my GP supply, spawn GP, down here, I have, turn around, there we go. I have added 3 of the dragon eggs to these extra utilities. Dragon, it says solar panel, but that's not what it is. It's something that you put the dragon egg on, and then it gives you 500 extra GP. So I got 3 of them, so that gives an extra 1500, and then the other 255 is coming from all this water stuff here. So this is my little section of the room. Oop, my little section of the room. This is someone else's. I want to say Shaw for some reason. Yep, and then Grok and other folks. So let's go back to our base. And there. Great. Awesome. Alright, so now what's next? This episode is going to be kind of a mixed bag episode. I went and the next thing I want to show you, what's been keeping me away from Agricultural Revolution is that you have to go out and you have to find the Agricultural Revolution dungeons to get the recipe books for like the pottery and stuff like that. Let's see what we've got here, and it does not show right there. So pottery, there we go. So now I've got a few of these books, and what most of these books are from is actually if you go into some of the oceans, you'll find sunken ships and inside the chest will be soaked books. Well, I didn't know what to do with that, but a quick little Google search showed that if you, let's get these off of there. Not that we eat anymore, I was just playing with it. Pick it up. If you take that soaked book and you put it on here on the drying rack from Agricultural Revolution, it will eventually dry and it will give you a random book. And, okay, that disappeared there for a second. And some of them are pretty good. Here, let's take a look. Pottery again. I've got like some full cupcake trays. Large cupcake tray, that's what I was looking for. And you might say, well, why is that so good? Well, you find these in the world, basic pottery schematics, and what you do with those if you can't find any books is that you can make some of the books. Now, you can't get these in any other place. See, I can't even left click them, except for inside of those dungeons. But they make the books, so if you want the books, you're going to have to find a bunch of them. If you want to get the more advanced books, you have to make the advanced schematics. But then that is like, it makes more books, but then there's another tier on top of that. So you have to find tons and tons of those pages. Well, with our handy dandy multiplier, I was able to make plenty of pages, all of them that I need. So I'll probably have to find a place at spawn that I can share these out, because, you know, people don't want to go out there and find those things on their own. They want to play with the mods. So here we are. We can get into this someday. One of them that I'm really interested in is the sphere mold. So let's check out the sphere. What it does is it gets, see, lots of steps. You start making these like gift of the seas and gift of the gifts and stuff like that, but you need all kinds of, like, look at this. For all of this stuff, you need, this is where like you need the large cupcake thing. So it's tiered. There's progression here. You have to progress through the mod. You can't just jump to these things at the end. And I haven't used any of them yet. And here's another one. But these are even in a further crafting recipe to get these crystals. Now the crystal here, this is the end part. This is the end game for Agricultural Revolution. Each one does something different. I think like maybe water. I was gonna say water breathing, but if I just said anything, you're gonna call me a liar, because I really don't know. I know that maybe sky maybe gives you some sort of flight, or maybe feather falling. Here's one for the sun that makes a light crystal. I imagine that that's just a light source, which, if you ask me, out of all of these, this one is the hardest one to find. Let's go back and look at the things. Like, okay, this seems like a lot of food, a lot of things that you can just find. Maybe find some seeds. You find those in the Agricultural Revolution dungeons also. But this one here, the tangled heart, I cannot find the tangled heart. And let me show you in the on where it's supposed to be, okay? And I just got an idea here. Or dictionary, none. Oh geez, I was hoping to like maybe be able to enter in the or dictionary and find it that way with like the digital miner, but it doesn't look like it. So let me show you where I was hoping to find these things. I don't want this, so we're gonna leave that there to despawn. Like I said, I was just playing with it. If you put different types of food, like raw meat, on the drying racks, it will dry into the jerky, just like the Tinker's Construct type stuff. All except for the chicken. Chicken doesn't work for some reason. Anyway, so the tangled heart stuff. Let's go into the nether. We should have everything we need to not die. And got night vision. Night vision is kind of getting on my nerves in the nether now. I think what it is because the other day I was trying so hard to find this tangled heart thing and just not having any luck, and it is so red. It is like, I don't know. It is red. So let's pick a direction. Let's go in this direction here and see if we can find one real quick. Wow, there is a lot of lava over here. Found a lava ocean. Alright, this looks like one of the trees. See how red it is? I'd like to find one that's over some land first. But, okay, so when you check out the wiki for Agricultural Revolution, it says that there's supposed to be one of those tangled heart per tree. But there's a ton of leaves, there's a ton of the wood, and I have not been able to find a single heart. So let's go ahead and let's do this together. Let's see if we can find one. If not, then you'll feel my pain, because you've got to look at all of this red also. Man, these are some red leaves. They drip a little bit. You can't really see it too much. Here, let me stop so you can see the little drippies. Looks like lava. I wonder if that's supposed to be blood or something like that. I don't know. But I'm using this item here from actually Additions Advanced Leaf Blower, and it gets rid of the leaves. These leaves don't drop any saplings. Supposedly, if you get the hearts, you can use it to craft shards, or maybe it's if you break the heart then you get shards, but you're supposed to be able to use those to make more trees. I don't know, because I haven't found a heart yet. And so I don't know if maybe it's hidden. Maybe one of these logs is the heart, because I haven't I haven't cut down a whole tree. Like, I cut down enough of them so enough of a tree so that I can see all of the pieces of the log. I mean, of the tree, like all of the logs and everything like that. So I figure, you know, if I'm looking at all of it and I don't see anything that looks like the heart in the JEI, then it's not there, right? But maybe one of you knows whether or not maybe it's, you know, maybe it's undetectable. You just can't see it until you like cut the right spot or something. But, and you would also think, because it's called the heart, like a tangled heart, you would think it would be towards the middle, right? But, you know, I even like check out the limbs and everything too, just to see if I'm missing it out here. Now this is a pretty big tree to be cut down. I wish I had one of those items that like cuts down the whole tree at one time, but I don't. And I think, well, we know of the Tinker's ones for sure. And then I think that there's the one from Botania, but I'm not into Botania, which I think on the down low I'm probably going to be getting into Botania off camera. You know, just setting up a little bit of something, a little bit of mana generation, you know, just to get settled in. Okay, I think it's the last of the leaves, really. Alright, so we'll cut down through the middle here, see if we can find the core, the tangled heart, but I bet you we're not going to be able to find it. I'm not going to even turn my magnet on, because I am tired of looking at this. Doesn't it, like, burn your retinas? It burns my like, I look away and I see just a different color. Like one of those things where you look at the your flag in different colors, and then you're supposed to stare at it, and then you look away and it looks like normal coloring. That's what it's like, except for it's all one color. And wish I could remember. Oh great, there's a hole underneath it. So if I cut it out accidentally, I'm just SOL. But look, it's nowhere. Nowhere to be seen. I cannot find the heart. If I'm missing it, just let me know. If there's something I have to do, do I have to burn this wood? I imagine that it's fireproof. But see, one of those turned to, it looked like it turned to stone. Like, I don't know. It's frustrating because I want to get into Agricultural Revolution and do some stuff. But anyways, I'll finish cutting this thing down just in case I'm actually missing it, but I bet I'm not, and then I'll be right back. So I thought about something. If I can't have the Ore Dictionary to get just the heart, what if we did something like this? Let's see. Let's get rid of this. Delete that. New filters. And item stack, I think this is what you do. You put, is that not right? Oh, okay. I was doing the right click. It's the left click. Hit that. And item stack. Get that too. Save. Will this work? So let's try this out. Alright, let's go back and make sure we got our silk touch on and all that. Yep, we just need some power. And I think we are going to be, we got lots of upgrades, and totally missed it, didn't I? All right, well, let's get this out here. Don't bounce away and fall somewhere else. Alright, there we go. And see if that works. Let's get on top so we don't fall into the lava. Oh goodness, lots of stuff. But hey, maybe this will get rid of some of the garbage for us. Yep. No tangled heart in that tree. So I think they are missing. I would like to have them so I can play with the mod. Okay. And we're back. We have about 10 minutes left-ish. I thought I'd use it to show you how I'm doing this. But isn't it cool? It like just gets the stuff for you. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you. I'll get out my Yetta wrench so it'll be a little bit easier. I've got a little bit of Ender IO going. So first thing you're thinking is that I'm using filters. Answer is nope, no filters. So just looking at the top here, we've got a redstone, a button that sends a redstone signal through this conduit here, which sends it to the side of this block. Okay, so that's what we have to know from the top. And then we will go down and take a look at it from the bottom. There we go. Hop the fence. All right. And this was the spot that we were just looking at up top. So then the other conduit is just an energy conduit to get items to this block. What this block is, and some of you are going to groan and some of you will think it's awesome, is a processor from Rftools Control. That's right, we're using Rftools Control to recognize what we put in the center on the empower table. I just feel like I'm saying it wrong. Hold on. Let's get empower. Yep, I said that right before. The empower, and then it goes and it grabs all of the items that we need to empower that specific item with the specific items that are used. And then what happens is that it pushes those items downward into this chest. And I can't open it because there's a block on top of it, but you don't need to see inside there. It's just a chest, just an inventory to be held. And then I've got conduits on each side going out to the different display stands, and none of them have filters. No filters at all, so don't worry about that. And the reason why you don't need filters is because the display stands hold only one item. So as long as you have 4 of whatever items you need to empower the center thing, the center block crystal, they're going to go out to the sides, because once they're full, you know, the item conduit stops pushing stuff out there. And then the rest of these conduits are energy conduits, which keeps the display stands powered. Alright, so that's all we got for the bottom. Let's also look at the program here. We'll look at the program over there, but as far as allocation here, I only have blocks or spots 0 through 3, or the first 4, however you want to say it, allocated. You don't need the RAM chip. You might only need 1 core the way that I programmed it. I just put a few more in there because I didn't know when I was getting things ready, and I actually thought I would be using the variables, but I didn't use any. And then 1 storage control, of course, so that you can access your storage and get the items that you need. Okay, so we'll look at the program real quick. I will put the paste bin of the program down in the description so that you can copy and paste it into your world. And because I have the processor underneath the empower and above that chest, you don't have to worry about north, east, south, or west. Just make sure it's empower, processor, and chest underneath, and then copy and paste the program, and you should be good to go. Alright, so I changed this out to a button because the eye was actually causing some extra ticks to happen, which we don't want. So we want to be friendly to the server, so button time. Okay, so let's look at the program. Here it is. It's not too complicated. Each one of these is actually for a different item. It all gets set from the redstone signal. This is the only thing that you'll really have to worry about. I have the redstone signal being sent in from the south side, and that was the side of the processor over there that had the conduit touching it. Now, if you're not interested in the program, like I said, copy and paste it from the bottom if it's something that you want to use. If you don't like going into your inventory and getting all of the items that you need for your actual additions and power setup, you can do it that way and then just use Rftools Control with it and Ender IO. So 3 different mods it looks like. And then you just got to power it however you're going to power it. And you can pretty much end the episode here and everything, but I'm going to stick around, and I hope you do too, so that you can see how the actual program works, because I think that, you know, just learning how other people are using the programs practically can kind of teach you on some of the different things that you can do. So anyways, you get the redstone signal. It will check. This is just for the first item. Like I said, each one of these is for a different type of crystal. So what it does is that this one checks for the redstone version, and then if it's equal to 1, that means true, so it goes on this line. If it's false, then it goes on to the next item, and then if each one is false, it goes on to the next one, next one, next one. And false down here, the wire connects all the way up, and then it goes up this way, and then finally stops if it doesn't find anything. Or stops here if you want to see how it's wired kind of that way. Alright, so then if it does find one of whatever it is, redstone or the lapis version or the diamond version or whatever it is, it goes on to the next thing where it grabs from the inventory and puts into the processor. Okay, so the redstone version takes 4 different items. So you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, where it pulls items out of my inventory and puts them into the processor, and then we'll use this opcode right here to push everything into that chest that's underneath the processor. So the first one, we have inventory and slot blank so that we can access our inventory with that storage module thing. Alright, and then we're always going to get just 1, because we don't want to cram a bunch of stuff in our chest. And then we're going to put it in our processor in slot 0. Remember how we selected slot 0 through 3? So slot 0, this one here is slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, and for our 4 different items. And then each one has a different item that it's going to get. So red dye, redstone, nether brick, and regular brick, all for that redstone version one. The lapis one, it takes 3 prismarine and 1 cyan dye. So you can see down here I have 1, and then here I have where it picks out 3. So that's the 4 different items, and because I can combine the 3 prismarine and 1, that's why it's not as long as like this one here. Alright, so then we go to where it pushes it out to the chest. It will push out in our processor slot 0 through 3. Down here I just adjusted it to 0 through 1 because we're only using 2. I don't think that you have to do that, but I do it just because. I don't know, I guess it's more efficient. Anyway, so it asks you which direction do you want to push the items, and we're pushing downwards into the chest. I didn't show you over here. When we evaluate what's on top, we look upwards into the empower and then see if it has the specific item or not. So it pushes downwards into the chest. Oh, pardon me, please. Thank you. And it pushes from the processor 0 through 3, and then it asks, well, what slot in the chest would you like to start at? It's optional, but I just went ahead and put 0. And that's how it is for each one. So we've got the redstone, I think that was lapis, the diamond, this is probably void crystal, yep, void. And then we got the emerald version, and then this is the iron version over here. And each one of these is like pushing their specific thing, like button, gray dye, cobblestone, you know, this one's got some stone, flint, you know, whatever, and so on and so forth. So that's what we're using to grab the things. Yep, and I hope I remember to put that down in the description, and hopefully I didn't go over our 10 minutes explaining that. If you guys know anything about that tangled heart, just let me know, and I'll probably get some Botania going so we can do some other stuff with that. Maybe look into its armor, because I'm not really feeling the magic of the roots mod too much, so we'll probably look to see if we can switch to something cooler. But anyways, I will talk to you all next time, and you all have a great day. Bye.